Hi, everyone. I'm Allison. I'm joined with a couple of GiveSignup colleagues, Chris, Elizabeth, and Bob, who will be answering some questions in the chat. I'm sure that someone will interrupt me at some point during this. So today, this is going to be kind of setting the stage of what happened in 2020 with fundraising and donations, just different trends that we saw happening, as well as some different case studies of how nonprofits were able to raise money through events. And we're really going to break it up by how events, you can like organize different types of fundraising events by the amount of time they take, because time is something that's a really increasingly precious resource for nonprofits. So the numbers, we're going to go through some numbers of fundraising in a pandemic, and these are numbers that are pulled from April of 2020 through the end of September of 2020. We're going to run these numbers again at the end of the month. I don't expect them to change significantly. But the first key fact is that donations per event increased significantly in 2020. It's kind of confirming the idea that people want to help and people are willing to donate. But this increase was driven because of significantly more donations, but also smaller donations. So while the amount that was being donated decreased across events in 2020, that was really overcompensated for by the increase in the number of people that were willing to donate in 2020. So this chart kind of shows the percentage of donations by amount that happen on the GiveSignup, RunSignup platform during this time frame. And the really significant increase that you'll see is with the donations that are less than $10 and less. Increased from making up 42% of all donations on our platform in 2019 to being 47.6% of all donations on our platform in 2020. And those $10 less donations may not seem that significant, but when you have that volume that is growing your events donation dollars, they can add up. Additionally, the other way to look at that is you are growing the names that are in your donor database. So by putting on an event, making that ask for donations, you are increasing the number of people that have learned about your mission, have wanted to contribute, and you can continue to engage those supporters over time. So narrowing down into fundraising events. So these are events where your supporters are able to create and share their own fundraising page. In general, these events raise more than an event that's simply asking for donations. That's because you're really empowering your supporters to go out to their networks and to ask for donations. So we saw a slight increase in the volume of donations for these fundraising events in 2020. But again, we're really seeing that huge jump in the number of donations. So while the transaction volume increased maybe about 5 or 6%, we see this really significant jump in the number of donations per fundraising event in 2020. So the key takeaways are that in 2020, we saw a lot more donations, but they were smaller. The second key takeaway was that virtual, because most of these events were virtual in 2020, have allowed nonprofits to reach more and new donors. And the third key takeaway is that people are donating. And so if you make the ask, people will donate, and that will allow your nonprofit to raise more money. So where does GiveSignup come into this? GiveSignup gives your nonprofit a free supporter engagement platform. And what that means is that we give you the technology to have all these different unique ways that you can engage with your supporters to really get them involved with your mission. And you'll kind of see here, around here, these are all of your different types of supporters. And these are all the different types of tools that you can use to engage them, from ticket events to run, walk, ride, whether that's an in-person, a hybrid, a challenge, a virtual event. fundraising campaigns, donation campaigns, and now with GiveSignup, recurring donations, a donation form for a specific type of campaign. And the power of the platform is that you can use one or many of these different ways to engage your supporters, and it's all free. And the other really important key thing is that you can get that information and data out of GiveSignup and into any other platform that your nonprofit is using to achieve your mission. So what we do is we give you purpose-built tools that help you raise more money, generate revenue, and engage your supporters. And then we make it really easy with our easily exportable reports, our open API, to get all that data out and use it however your nonprofit needs to. So we're going to get into some examples and just kind of go through these different options for your nonprofit to raise money. And like I said, I think like nonprofits are really crunched for time. They're crunched for resources. And so the way that I've organized this is a couple of options that take an hour or less to execute and to start raising money. And then I have a few options for spending a fair amount of time on. And then we have some options that take a more significant amount of time investment to do. So with 1 hour or less, we have a lot of new GiveSignup features that can help you create a way, a campaign, a form to raise more money. And these are donation forms, donation websites, and fundraising campaigns. So donation forms are one of the things that we've been promoting a lot recently. We recently created a new simple wizard so that you can create one or multiple donation forms for your nonprofit. It's really simple to create a form, set up donations, start raising money in 10 minutes or less. And these forms let you use your messaging and branding. The power of the forms is that you're able to customize that call to action, that campaign messaging for each form. And that goes down to like which donation levels you offer and how you want to customize them and what recurring giving options you want to offer to your supporters. Because you can create an unlimited number of these forms for free, you can create them for each campaign. They're also flexible to use as your general donations for your nonprofit. This is a really powerful way that we're starting to see hundreds of our nonprofit customers from RunSignup upgrade from their PayPal donations to really raise more, grow donations. So donation forms are super simple. It lets you do a strong call to action to raise money for a campaign or for general donations, and it can be set up and done in 10 minutes or less. The second example is a donation website. So you can either upgrade your donation form or you can just go ahead and create a donation website from GiveSignup's website. And this example is from the PACE Center for Girls in Jacksonville, Florida. And they're using a donation website to run a Where the Heart Is campaign. And the things that I really like about this campaign are, one, it's time limited. So it's time limited in two ways. One is they have a foundation that's going to match up to $35,000 raised from this campaign with a grant. So that puts pressure on the need to donate now to get that matching donation. The second time limited kind of action oriented item is that the first 72 donors who give more than $250 are going to get their names featured on a heart wall at the center. So they use the website to show an example of what this heart looks like on the wall, as well as to feature a campaign goal. So the donation websites give you the option to add more of your custom content, your photos, your videos, as well as to more prominently feature a goal. The other option is to use GiveSignup's new standalone fundraising campaigns. So a lot of nonprofits use RunSignup for our all-in-one donation, fundraising, registration platform for their Run, Walk, Ride. But nonprofits also do fundraising campaigns that are separate from their annual 5K for charity. And GiveSignup's new standalone fundraising campaigns allow you to set up a fundraising campaign that's not attached to an event to raise money at any time. And this is a nice example that I like from Paint the Basin because it's a pretty creative use of our new fundraising campaigns. What they've done is they've actually created fundraising pages for all of their annual third-party DIY fundraising events. So obviously this year, those DIY fundraising events didn't happen. But what they did is they set up an individual page for each of those events that would typically contribute more than $50,000 to the nonprofit in a regular year. And they distribute those fundraising pages to the hosts of those DIY fundraising events and encourage them to still raise money. And they're able to feature an overall DIY fundraising goal. There's the flexibility of creating a connected Facebook fundraiser to any of these individual fundraising pages. And I kind of like it because it's kind of that assumed close. Like, you know, the person's not going to be able to host the event, but you're still kind of asking them to raise the money that it would typically raise in a normal year. So fundraising campaigns are one of the new GiveSignup features. It's separate from the fundraising that you're doing in the RunSignup platform with your registration. And they're going to become used in a lot of different ways as we grow GiveSignup. One of the really cool ways that we're going to start using them in 2021 is by being able to attach them to a ticketed event. So you can have a fundraising campaign that's part of your annual charity gala or your annual pancake breakfast. And to make these fundraising campaigns even more fun in 2021, I wanted to give you a quick sneak peek of what we're going to be doing. We're going to be adding a new layout to these fundraising pages to make them more of a landing page website. So this image on the left will show a photo slideshow. So your nonprofit will be able to upload one or multiple images to these fundraising pages. And then as you scroll down the campaign page, you'll have those sticky call to action buttons to become a fundraiser and donate. I'll plan to do a wrap-up blog of what GiveSignup has done in 2020, as well as a look at what we're planning to do in 2021. But Darren and Alyssa are starting to work on this, and I got some screenshots earlier this week, so I thought I would give everyone a little quick sneak peek of what's coming. Okay, so now I'm going to go into the second bucket of events that take a little bit more time commitment and planning to execute. And these are going to be ticket events and then the virtual fundraising events, like those virtual run, walk, ride events that we've seen happen so much on our platform this year. So the first example of a ticket event is actually for the nonprofit that I used to work for back in 2012, I think, in Tanzania. It's a really incredible organization. They operate a secondary school in a small village in Tanzania, and it's a really powerful example of like how, you know, providing an education and empowering individuals can have these amazing positive impacts on a community. So this year they do a typical end of year fundraising donation push. And in a normal year, they would be going out to like visit their major donors and try to host events around that. But with the inability to travel and do that type of in-person networking, they pivoted to a Zoom session. And they used GiveSignup to sell tickets to this Zoom call. They sold over 200 tickets for $50 each, and they raised over $12,000 from the ticket sales. They also had an option to donate for those who are unable to attend the event. On the day of the event, they were able to use the free email marketing within the ticket dashboard to send a private Zoom link to all the ticket holders the day of the event. And so we went into this, this Zoom session last week that I attended with my family because we're supporters of the school. And we log into the Zoom session and they started with a pre-recorded video. So I'm just going to play it for you guys because it was very meaningful. And it's a great example of how to really engage your supporters, even if you can't be in person.
If you don't get happy watching this. Can you turn the volume up any, Allison, if you're going to keep playing it? No.
Sorry if the volume wasn't great on that. You can put a link into their website to play the whole video for those who are interested. But really, like they held this really incredible Zoom session, and they used a mix of these pre-recorded videos as well as live content. So it kind of flipped between showing video content of the school, interviews with teachers and with students, and then flipping back to like live content and updates on like the school status during COVID and everything. They also did breakout sessions during Zoom, so it's easy to like, split people out into like small rooms where, people who support the school were able to actually talk with some of the students and alumni. It's a small school. People have very personal connections. It was great to see like the students and teachers, many of whom I knew on this. And then the last 15 minutes of the call, it shifted to a fundraising campaign. And they had all of us on this call. We had just, seen all this amazing content and talked to students and heard about like, how much they've achieved because of the school. And they set this goal to raise $75,000 in 15 minutes. And they gave a couple of options. They used their Zoom backgrounds to show the link to donate via GiveSignup on a donation website, which is what you see on the screen here. And they also have a Venmo set up so people could Venmo them money, and people could also just type a pledge into the Zoom chat. So it was very flexible in giving people multiple ways to donate. And they actually ended up raising nearly $150,000 during this campaign that lasted 15 minutes. So one of the things that you can do is you can really get creative, and you can mix and match these different ways that you can raise money on GiveSignup. These products are meant to be complementary, and you can use them with the same theme to really, raise money and make your typical like donation appeals or replace an in-person event with something that's really creative and compelling. So with virtual fundraising events, we've seen a lot of events that had to go virtual over the past year. And I have shared this example before, but I really like it. This is the virtual Dash for Donation. This year was their 21st annual event, and it's their largest annual fundraiser to support their programming. I like it so much because they connected the dates of the event and the pricing to their cause. The number 8 equals the number of lives an organ donor can potentially save. And so they made their registration fee $8.50. They gave participants 8 days to complete the virtual 5K. So it was like very meaningful numbers, and they were able to make that virtual event engaging. These lower cost virtual events are typically like a nice approach for nonprofits that want reduced overhead. So by charging $10 or less, or even doing a free event, you're not going to have to do like swag. You're not going to have to worry about putting on the operations of an event. You can really spend time making it creative and meaningful for your participants, and enabling all these free tools that GiveSignup, RunSignup's platform lets you have, from a free website to the ability for participants to submit results and upload photos, to having those connected fundraising pages. So I think these low cost, free virtual events can be a really great way to raise money and engage people and create a meaningful experience. But at the same time, they limit the amount of time that you have to really spend on putting on an event. So I think it's a really great compromise in the middle. I also wanted to highlight Wheeler Mission's Drumstick Dash, which had to go virtual in 2020. And the thing I wanted to point out here is like, I don't know, I felt like this video really means a lot, because it shows that, your virtual participants care about your mission. They don't care about doing a competitive 5K in most cases. And I think it just will make you feel very motivated to keep engaged, even if it is putting on a virtual event. I'm gonna play this.
The pandemic means means another Thanksgiving Day tradition will look a lot different this year. The drumstick dash and broad ripple won't be going on as planned. Instead, it'll be a virtual event.
Yeah, so I love that. I mean, it's 9 months into a pandemic, and people that support your mission are still going to be willing to go out, run on their own, take some selfies, donate, sign up. So I know that it seems like there's just too much virtual, but like for nonprofits, just remember you have communities that care about your mission, that care about the people that your organization supports. And you shouldn't feel like there's too much virtual. You should still just do it because it's an opportunity for you to make and ask for donations, keep engaged with people, let them know that you're still around, still helping your beneficiaries. So, yeah.
The pandemic means another Thanksgiving Day tradition.
On to the next slide. All right, so options that take a little bit more time. So these are really 5 to 10 plus hour options. And these are going to be virtual challenge fundraising campaigns and hybrid events, because hybrid events are going to require a lot more planning and take some more overhead. All right, so virtual challenge fundraising campaigns. This is something that we've been talking about a lot and really promoting to our nonprofit customers because it's a great way to extend engagement and extend fundraising periods. Even beyond 2020 and 2021, I think this is going to be a way that nonprofits can fundraise and really create engagement long-term. And virtual fundraising campaigns, we've had over 1,500, I think, nonprofits set up virtual challenges that have raised more than $30 million on our platform since we came out with this, this new feature to fundraise. So I'm going to start with the one that kind of started off this virtual challenge fundraising campaigns. It was American Cancer Society's first challenge. It was activity logging over a week. The power of doing it on RunSignup, GiveSignups platform is that you have everything in a single platform. It's very easy for your users to use. With virtual challenges, you can offer flexible registration options. Swag generally is a part of these challenges. I've seen some nonprofits do free challenges or some with no swag. But because of like the longer engagement, your participants tend to want some sort of swag to commemorate the challenge. The other nice feature that they've used in a lot of challenges and that I've seen a lot of other nonprofits use is the idea of having an overall challenge goal. Again, this doesn't have to be a running, walking challenge goal of mileage. This could be the number of books read, the number of yoga minutes done. I
hope Allison's all right.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe one of those monoliths appeared just outside Allison's apartment, like we've been seeing popping up everywhere, and maybe that got in the way of the presentation.
It was like great for a minute.
It was definitely a rave for a moment, as someone had mentioned, and it was definitely a dance party for a second. And I was like, well, I like this spin on the hybrid presentation is just do a quick dance party in the middle and then move back on to the presentations.
I was just wondering at what point the swag to reward and inspire people to get other registrants becomes viable, because we're at like a 450 registration in a regular year kind of place, and
Yes.
swag usually costs money. So
Yeah. So what we see, what we see people do is they do the referral rewards first, and then and basically you reward people with a refund of some sort, including up to the full price of the cost of the event. You reward them that if they get 5 friends is kind of like the sweet spot. And then beyond that, you can reward them with swag. And so if you have a low volume event, you're actually like 450, you probably won't get many people that are going to get 10 or 15 or 20 friends. For larger events, it actually works out really well, because it winds up that, you know, maybe 1% of your attendees are true mavens, and they'll bring on 10 people or something like that. So, and the other thing that we see is that people will do clever, like leftover type of swag rewards, and they'll call it like a vintage thing. Or sometimes Allison will do a rave like she was just doing for people if they get 10 attendees or something like that. And then if they get 15, Chris can come and sing for them. Allison, it looks like you might be back.
I am back.
Look at you.
My computer crashed. I had probably like 58 tabs open. There's a lot of exciting stuff happening at GiveSignup, planning for 2021 right now.
So you need to share your links with me of what you're going to present, because I could have faked it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so going back to virtual challenges, which are a great way to use referral rewards because people want to challenge their friends to do these challenges. One of the things that I really like about kind of the direction that we've taken results and fundraising with the RunSignup platform is we've made pages for all types of participants to share. So with these challenges, or like any virtual event that you're doing, you're going to have some participants that care about your mission, and you're going to have some participants who care about the results and the leaderboard and the ranking of who's done the most of the challenge. And we've added some small changes to really emphasize the fundraising aspect. So when people share their fundraising pages, say your fundraisers that don't care as much about results, there actually is a new link that goes to the results page now. And we've also added a new feature where on any results, whether it's a challenge, a virtual race, an in-person event, you can actually feature the fundraising goal with a call to action to donate at the top of the results page. And that really keeps the focus on the fundraising and donation aspect of your event, but still lets your participants, share that results page if they identify more with the competitive aspect of your challenge or event. 2021, this is the theme of our event today, the year of hybrid events. And I have one more video. This could be the reason my computer is crashing too. But I figured I would let Andrew summarize what a hybrid event is instead of me.
2021 is the year of hybrid events. A hybrid event is any race, run, walk, ride, or fundraising event that incorporates both in-person and virtual elements. Due to COVID-19, race directors and nonprofits are using this approach to engage more participants and increase fundraising dollars. Hybrid events are about providing options and can include traditionally scored on-site events, on-site defined courses with flexible start times or expanded race dates, race anywhere virtual options with set distances and participants submitted finish times, and/or virtual challenges. There is no one-size-fits-all configuration, so you can mix and match the elements that work best for your race. Combining in-person and virtual components ensures that your event appeals to runners and participants who are looking for a traditional race experience, as well as those who aren't comfortable at in-person gatherings yet. Hybrid events offer flexibility for participants, encouraging them to sign up without fear of cancellations. They widen the pool of potential participants since out-of-state participants can join their family and friends in a virtual event. They manage the uncertainty around events by creating a built-in contingency plan, and they also bring in fundraising dollars to support your cause now. Hybrid events are the key to success in 2021. So visit runsignup.com/hybrid and get started today. '21 is the year of.
So Wheeler Mission for 2021 has already launched registration for a hybrid event. You can go to their website there. It's just drumstick-org. When you sign up, they're offering 2 in-person options as well as a virtual option. So this is one of the first nonprofits that I've seen doing like a large-sized hybrid event for 2021. But I think we're going to increasingly see the nonprofit community start to do hybrid. And I think the key when you're thinking about hybrid is really just give your participants as many flexible choices as possible. So let them do event transfers. Like someone may feel more comfortable signing up for virtual right now, but as the event gets closer and there's a vaccine that comes out, they may want to switch to the in-person or vice versa. You still want to offer, like, you know, if possible, defer to next year. Always give your participants the option to donate their entry fee if they can't participate at the last minute. If possible, give them the option to do refunds. And you really want to keep your registration open as long as possible. One of the nice things with the GiveSignup, RunSignup platform is we do have very good participant management options. So your runners, participants can actually move themselves from event to event within the parameters that you set. So you can say you can transfer from in-person to virtual or vice versa during these dates. So be flexible, give people different options, and check out drumstick-org if you want to see an example of how a nonprofit is setting up a virtual or a hybrid event. And that kind of wraps things up. I encourage you to go to GiveSignup.org. You can explore more of the features in depth. We have the Get Started Free button, and from there you can create a ticket event, a donation form, a website, or a Run Sign Up, Run Walk Ride registration. All free, no setup, no subscription, no monthly fees. And with that, I will end the presentation. Any questions? Since I can't.
When is Darren and Elizabeth going to be done with the slideshow on the fundraiser pages?
Well, it's going to be Alyssa, because Alyssa's a developer and Elizabeth is going to help our nonprofits use it.
I'm sorry, Alyssa. You know me.
I know.
I panicked for a minute there.
Hopefully early in 2021.
Good. I can't wait.
And we have a few questions from the chat. Most of them have been answered. We have one that just came in that hasn't been answered yet. Do you have a virtual auction option?
Also coming in 2021.
Woohoo! We hear that question a lot.
Yeah, we do get that question a lot. That is going to be one of our major projects for 2021. So I think it's definitely going to be the second half that we'll start talking about that. But yes, a lightweight auction that's online, that's free to use, is on our development pipeline for 2021.
Great. And here's some questions that were answered a little bit earlier, but I think it's good to hear you talk about it maybe a little bit. Can participants upload pictures on GiveSignup like they can in RunSignup?
On the Run Walk Ride registration platform, yes, you can upload photos. So like you can use the RunSignup URL. You can also use GiveSignup.org. So they're interchangeable. It's the same platform. So for any virtual Run Walk Ride event, yes, you can upload photos. For ticket events and donation websites, again, that's something that's coming in 2021.
And hopefully very early in 2021. Phil should be done with that in a month, maybe 2 at the most.
Good. Good. And then maybe, do you think just a few more questions? How many more do you want, Allison?
I think we have until 4:15.
Fantastic. So let's keep on going. All right. So the first question that was asked was, with GiveSignup's API being able to connect to Bloomerang, does that mean there's an automatic integration available, or that it has to be a manual download and then to import into Bloomerang?
Yeah, so there's two options right now. The first option is to do a manual export, and a lot of nonprofits use this. Like as an example, Semper Fi Fund typically does about $1 million in online processing on GiveSignup, RunSignup for their charity bid fundraising events. And they export that information out of the GiveSignup, RunSignup platform and import it into their CRM, which is Blackbaud, but which could be, any CRM that any nonprofit uses. So for that sort of volume, a manual export import is typically sufficient. The second option is that we do have an open API. And if your nonprofit has a developer, or you can hire a consultant to build an automated integration, that is an option for your nonprofit. The third thing is that if you do use a third-party CRM like Bloomerang or Kindful, you should ask them to build an integration to GiveSignup, RunSignup's platform. The reason I say that is because we work with over 9,000 nonprofits, and we have these purpose-built tools. And so a third-party CRM like Bloomerang could easily build an automated integration to our open API and offer that at scale to their customers. Is that a good answer, Bob? Or do you have anything?
Yeah, and just to reinforce, that we've spent a lot of time and effort making sure our reports are really clean and easy to export data in a variety of different formats. And we also have this open API, and we have a number of vendors that have connected with us in the past through that API. And we're willing to work with vendors. We put out a blog post. I'll post it in the chat here in a second. But the idea of trying to integrate with these other vendors, I think it's a nice idea. I think it'd be very easy for them to use our API, and we're willing to help them and underwrite that.
Fantastic. Here's one question that I don't think has been answered yet. When users switch themselves between events, does RunSignup auto handle dollar differences?
Yes. So we will not do, oh my gosh, I'm like blanking on this. We will not refund if you switch into a lower cost event. We won't do an automated refund if you switch from a higher cost event into a lower cost event. However, if you want to charge a fee, or if you switch from a lower cost event into a higher cost event, that difference will be charged. So you can charge more money, but you can't automatically refund with our event transfers. One thing I would add to that is I would not recommend charging for event transfers in 2021. I don't think it's a great place to make money, and I think you should just make it as easy and frictionless as possible for people to move from event to event. The only exception being if you have like a swag and no swag event, then you can charge the extra money for switching into the swag event from the no swag event.
Great. There was also a question, I know this has been answered in the chat, but I think it's a great one to explore. Any referrals or exploring a third non-binary category of runners and walkers?
So we've actually implemented that at the profile level. So when somebody creates their account on RunSignup, GiveSignup, they're actually able to select that non-binary option now. The reason that we haven't implemented it at the race level is because a lot of events do still do the male-female, like binary scoring and awards. And we don't want to throw that third category into all events if they aren't prepared to have awards and result sets for that. That being said, what you're able to do is you're able to easily hide the gender question. And I recommend that you do that. when people sign up. So they aren't asked to select the binary male, female. And what you can do is you can create a custom question with the options that you would like to give your participants to select from. And if you are doing a timed or a scored event, your timer will be able to use that custom question to create the categories and award categories that you want based off of the responses. But yeah, I think that was a really exciting release that we had that year to offer people that flexibility to not categorize themselves as male or female when they create an account on our platform.
Yeah, I agree. It's an exciting release and an important one. So I was glad to see that too. Trying to see. I think I pretty much hit almost all the questions, unless anyone has seen one I have missed.
Yeah, I think we can kind of wrap it up because it's 4:15. But you can go to givesignup.org. You can also go to givesignup.org/raisemore. That has a bunch of our different resources all consolidated in one place. And you can feel free to reach out to info@GiveSignup if you want to talk to Chris or Elizabeth or any of our other GiveSignup reps. We're happy to explore these different options and help you figure out what the best combination, given your time availability and time budget for 2021 is, so that your nonprofit can raise more.
Wonderful. Thank you, Allison.
Great.
Well done.
Except for the computer crashing in the middle, but besides
it's not your fault. That was the aliens visiting. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
All right. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to log off now.